loading snacks.
What's good, Loading Snacks Universe? Your boy Jokes is here. Got the full crew with me tonight. We got Gabby, we got Marcus, we got Noah. And it's a little, once again, we back for this anime crossover with Spoiler Boys.
Spoiler boys.
And girl. I don't know. What I
Boys is a
forget what
universal
cartoon
term.
that was that did that.
Boys is like bros. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh man. But tonight we are here to talk about Chainsaw Man, the Reze Arc. It's kind of funny you name the movie as a whole entire arc, but
Yeah.
hey, I'll take it any way that we can get it at this point. First things first, how are you guys feeling tonight?
Oh, I'm great.
I'm
All
doing
right.
pretty good.
I'm over here watching the
Marcus.
Ravens and Dolphins on the side.
Oof. Ravens should do okay, but I can't say nothing. The Falcons lost to the Dolphins, and it was bad. But that's a different conversation that we can have later. But
damn
yeah,
boy.
we are here to talk about this Chainsaw Man movie. Like I don't even want us to really wait. Noah, I'm kind of going to give you the lead because I mean, we all saw this together in IMAX first of all when we first saw this. But
Yes.
you actually just went and saw it again last night, so you got the super freshness in your mind right now. I know you have not been able to get this movie off your mind since seeing it the first time. You have been talking about it. You have been posting about it. You have been going absolutely crazy for it. Before we get in,
I got it fresh.
before we get in and start really talking about the movie, talking about some of our favorite parts and everything, I want to kind of get an idea of where we're sitting at right now as a grade before we talk through it. Because I feel like as we talk through it, some things sometimes get better, sometimes things get worse. But I want to kind of see where we're at before we start talking about it. So Noah, I'm gonna start with you because you super fresh out of it right now. We do 1 to 10, but honestly, I'm gonna give you. I know you has different scoring grades. Where do you want to set this movie at right now?
I always say, give it to me 0 through 10, and you can't say 7. And
Classic.
mine is what I say Demon Slayer was an 8.5. This
Yeah.
is a perfect 10, y'all. There
Oof.
is 0 things wrong with this movie. This movie
Okay.
is a perfect movie, almost too perfect on the level of like I said, this to me is one of my favorite movies I'd put in the last 5 years. Perfect 10. Especially as far as a movie theater experience. And I remember them. Endgame, Guardians 3, The Batman, Avatar 2, Chainsaw Man, edged out Dune 2. So
Oh yeah.
those are my top 5 theater experiences of the last 10 years. And yeah, so for me, perfect 10.
Not mad at that. Gabby, what about you?
I'm gonna place it at a 9.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I don't think it deserves a 10 because I'm extremely hype about it, but just probably because I think I was more into the Demon Slayer movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely think that this was better than the Demon Slayer movie overall as an anime movie. But I'm sitting at a solid 9 right now, but I really don't know if I can even think of anything bad, so that may change.
Agreed.
She just don't want to give it a 10, but she knows it's a 10.
Reminded you of that fish movie.
She just don't want to give it a 10 because she knows she didn't give Demon Slayer a 10. She don't want to give it a 10. She said it's a 9, but I can't find anything wrong with it. Girl, that's a 10.
Nah, she had something wrong with it. She mentioned that one scene reminded her of that awful fish movie that we saw.
Oh my god, yes, but that's later. We'll get into that later.
Okay.
Marcus, where you at?
Marcus.
I'm at a 9. Like it can be a 10. It's just I'm too tired to give it a 10 right now, so it's a 9.
You're too tired to give it a 10.
Chat,
No,
what's going on,
we're gonna
chat?
go with it. We're
Chat,
gonna
are
go
we
with
cooked?
it.
Chat, are we cooked?
Fair. I'm literally sitting where all of y'all at. I'm honestly between a 9 and a 10. Like Noah, I'm 100% with you. Like I just don't have. There's nothing that I can complain about the way that this movie went down. The only reason why I would give it a 9, actually, it's the same reason I believe I gave Demon Slayer a 9. It's just for the fact that we took this whole arc and crammed it into a movie. Like, I would have loved to have gotten more, but don't get me wrong, I thought the pacing and everything was done extremely well for taking a whole arc and being able to put it into a movie format. Um,
Yeah, there was
Not to
virtually
say
no
that,
cut content. That's why I
yeah,
was like, it honestly wasn't crammed. They could have added some anime filler. There was almost no cut content. If this were to be an arc in episodes, it would have been like 6 episodes.
mhm,
It would have been like, so it wouldn't have made a season because it was like what, a little over an hour and 40 minutes. So
about
that
that,
would have been like 6
maybe about so,
episodes,
maybe about so. And that's not to say that they won't still animate it. So like, I'm sitting
which is
on.
why it was. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm
Oh no,
sorry.
it's why I'm sitting on between the 9 or a 10. Um, I can give this. I'm kind of where Gabby is. It's hard for me to get this to take a like use Demon Slayer 10, but I honestly would. I honestly, you know what? I'm gonna say a 9 for now because we're gonna talk through this. I feel like I won't be at a 10 by the time we get to the end of this. By the time we get to the end of this,
Uh,
um, but yeah, overall, regardless, like just like you said, Noah, the theater experience was
so on
great. Like,
IMDb, our overall score is like a 9.5, y'all.
so
Just
we
so
we
y'all
we
know,
we right in the right place.
like our
Um,
overall score, audience score is a 9.
all right, right there, you are right.
Um,
Marcus, before I mean Marcus, no, before I let you kind of start going in with the movie, biggest thing for I want to throw out there, which hopefully if you guys have already seen the movie out there, this was specifically formatted for IMAX. So I hope you were able to go see and enjoy this movie in IMAX because there are scenes in this movie that you can clearly see they literally take full advantage of that IMAX screen, and it made the overall experience even better.
yeah.
Um, Story, music, everything on like it was just all one great package. If you didn't see it on the IMAX screen, don't get me wrong, I'm sure you probably still enjoyed it, but I think you probably would enjoy it a little bit more
Probably.
watching it on
You
on the
probably
IMAX
still
screen.
liked it.
But Noah,
It was
I'm gonna pass it to you. Where you want to go ahead and get things started at?
I mean, I don't want to talk too long about it. We can still pass it around, but I'll say like general notes. I think first off is what I told y'all that Rize's character bringing her to life. I initially thought Rize would have, as y'all see, I read it. I'm a big Chainsaw Man fan
Mm-hmm.
already, and I had been waiting for this arc maybe for some 5 years. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that originally when I read this, I thought Makima and Rize would have sort of like the Himino voice, which is like the deep, sexy voice. You know what I mean? Like, especially because Rize and Makima are so flirty. So I thought that was going to be their voice, but she had like the high pitched, adorable voice. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, just the way she did it brought her to life so well. I thought of it, it reminded me of Momo from Dandadan because it just is like a voice that like makes the character alive instantly, as to where other voice actors do it, but you know what I mean, it's something special that makes you like the character instantly just because of the way they talk. And I feel like she did excellent job with that for Rize.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the soundtrack was next level. Let me look up this composer because
It was
I
beautiful.
can't remember his name, but
The song has been
as
stuck in
y'all
my head since we saw the movie. And
literally every time that song, like I have it on my playlist and I was playing it this morning on the way to work, like 6:30 in the morning. I was like, I gotta change the song, man. I'm getting teared up.
I'm gonna cry.
Listen to the song. You're having me teared up. His name is Ushio Kensuke, and he composed that song Jane Doe, which was sung by, if y'all know To Your Eternity, she does the the
Okay.
intro, Pink Blood.
Yeah.
Pink Blood. It's a really good song. She also does Kingdom Hearts. Can you
Yeah.
hear me say please? That's her. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
her. I forget what her
She
name is.
has such a
Hikaru
range.
Utada. Yeah, she's amazing. So she did Jane Doe. That was the credit song. That
Mhm.
wasn't the outro. That was amazing. But the just all of the songs. We all know the pool scene.
Yep.
Absolutely incredible.
That was gorgeous.
We all know that the fight scenes, the animation was It's like this is crazy to say because you think you've seen the peak of anime when you've seen Demon Slayer movie, and somehow this surpassed it. It's just like somehow the animation, I'm talking strictly like quality, you know what I mean? Because they have Demon Slayer has like a clarity to their art that I think nobody matches, like just this popping clarity that looks really HD.
Clarity,
But as
the
far as-
colors, the color schemes that they be doing, like it's just
yeah,
different art styles, and I think that's what makes it. That's what sets it. It's like when you create your own style, and then you go in, it just makes things that's super unique that somebody else necessarily can't replicate. So I
Chainsaw
can
Man has those muted colors, and that's what makes it different in the animation style, I think, as well.
Yeah, for sure, especially in the art. I think that their movement, one thing that was specifically amazing was they use a lot of CG that they cover in Chainsaw Man, and they do it well. But one thing I was upset about was their Denji's chainsaws, and they made them CG. So as you can see on the picture behind you, they did a tactic where they made them, I guess, like just used like 40 frames and made them hand drawn. And I wish they would do that every time because I'd rather see those blurs than exact chainsaw links that are 3D. You know what I mean? It don't got to be exact. So stuff like that was amazing. They changed up the art style. I wish I had brought up a picture. Maybe I'll bring it up while somebody else talks of the differences. And they covered Fuji's art much better. Like, Gabby, you've read this. The art style was definitely more so on Fuji's art style than season one. Not to say the season one was bad, but you probably might not have noticed unless I show you, but Power, they all look different. They're all like drawn slightly different than how they are in season one. And I feel like it covers Fujimoto's art perfectly. And then last, the way that Fujimoto does character explanations is so amazing. I was gonna say spoilers, but we're in spoiler boys. Reze,
we're here for.
Reze initially at the end of season one says, "Are you the country mouse or the city mouse?" Which I think is actually the field mouse or the city mouse, but that's Aesop's fable. And she says that originally because she's been watching Denji to some degree. Fujimoto, when he writes story, he explains stuff without really explaining it. But the only way she knew about Denji and how to meet him in the phone booth and everything is because she was a Russian spy, as Kishibe said at the beginning. So she had been watching Denji. So that's why at the end of season one, she said, "Denji, do you like the field mouse or the city mouse more?" She was mirroring herself with the field mouse. The field mouse is out in the field. They don't have as much food, but they're comfortable because there are no cats. There aren't humans out there. They can live freely. The city mouse is willing to do whatever it takes to get a little bit of food, but they have to dodge humans and cats, or in Aesop's fable, it was dogs. What did Makima have a bunch of? Dogs. So it's interesting because this is how they all do it. Aki and the angel devil mirrored themselves. The angel devil mirrored himself also as a field mouse. Aki and Denji, Aki's willing to give up his life to get revenge on the gun devil. Denji's willing to go through hell and back to touch a titty. So they're both the field mouse. They're willing to risk it all for a better quality of life, right? So those parallels are very interesting. And Reze thought she was a mouse, but as you heard the serial killer say on the roof, "I know who you are. You're the cheese that lures out the mouse." Reze was the food in the fable. And if you think about that, she was the food that Denji never gets to touch, but he's in the city right now. So he gets the food, but he's got the dangers all around him. You know what I mean? The devils, he's got to be a slave of the association, et cetera, et cetera. And then at the end, usually that fable is told from the mouse's perspective. But at the end, Makima's like, "I like the country mouse too. We used to have country mice. We had to dig them up with dogs before the snow fell so we could get them out." She's like, "I can just, you know what I'm saying, use dogs." So to her, the dogs, which are in the fable, that's what the mice are running from, are the actual strongest thing because the dogs, you know what I mean? She's like, "Fuck the city mouse. I'll just control all the mice." You know what I mean? And that's like, it's just interesting to see how he explained each of those characters. Because for those of y'all who don't know, that's some like lore for Makima later. And then it's some
it is.
lore for each character that you're watching. It's just the way he explains each character is so well, and the way they show it in the movie in just an hour and 45 minutes, man. Like I said, no complaints. They did everything they needed to do. How
Dig
about
it.
you, Gabby? What's some points that stuck out to you?
Well, just initially, I think they did a great transition going from the anime style to the movie. I was really happy because I know sometimes movies they do tend to change styles. One Piece does that a whole heck of a lot. Demon Slayer not so much, but some do. So I was worried that Chainsaw kind of might take that route of changing styles
Mhm.
for movies. They didn't. That made me happy. So because as I said before, the muted color scheme I think is pretty unique to them. Because they have kind of some of their lines of like their outline characters are softer and some are harsher in places, but they all still have that muted color scheme that I actually really enjoy. So happy to see that all, as you said, Noah, complete bangers for all of the soundtracks, music opening. I loved the whole sequence that we got when all of a sudden you just see Denji, Aki, and Power just like asleep on the floor. And then they just kind of roll into like opening credits of them like getting ready and doing all this stuff. It's like, oh, okay, this is the actual start of the movie. Um, Reese is probably, I think, one of my favorite demons or people demons, I'm gonna call them, because they look like people demons. But I like her design the most out of all the ones that I think that we've seen. Maybe it's because she's one of the few female ones as well.
Mhm.
But I think they did her character design justice, especially with animating her explosions and her bombs. I didn't know if it was gonna be more like
Every
Bakugo's.
snap was
Mhm.
so good.
Oh,
I
ever.
didn't
Ooh.
They
I
did
didn't
it
know if it was like
exactly
My
how it is in the
Hero
manga.
explosions, like
Hmm.
like big flashy, or if it was going to be like typical anime fireworks. But it was kind of a mix of both of them. They had that like small, really bright spark, kind of like you see in Bakugo's when he does like holds his hand and does like the sparking up of his ability. But it had the big explosions like the fireworks from the anime. So I liked the combination that they did there. And then every other time that she would do it, she'd be like, boom, bomb. Huh. And I was just like, I got to chill every time I did it. I was like, oh, this is so cool. This is so
Yes.
cool. Seeing that animated was just like, oh, this is really, really awesome. So
Typhoon too. That was another one I forgot. His voice actor, the
yeah,
way they made it echo so much, it
Mhm.
really gave you the idea that we're in a big ass battle right now in the
Yeah.
middle of the
hmm
city.
Typhoon was so interesting, honestly. I didn't always remember that character too, so I kind of was like, oh, that's right. This Typhoon character was in it. Um, but I knew there was another one. So it was fun to
Right.
kind of see them again. I think I focus on Reese too much when I think about the movie, but honestly, seeing her animation was my favorite part um, of that. And then you almost want to root for them throughout the whole thing because you get the pool scene and they're just like, oh, it's so wholesome. It's like, okay, come on, Denji, you can choose her over Makima. This is fine.
Yeah.
They lull you into all this sense of comfort. And then it's like, oh, yeah, just bit your tongue off.
Yes.
I just
She bit your
always a
tongue off
kid
after she got rejected, though,
after she got rejected. After
Important.
she got rejected. Yeah, unfortunately.
which, mind you, she was going to drag him away and steal his heart anyways.
Oh,
But
regardless, it was going to
she
happen
was
one way or the
definitely
other.
taking a. She was going to be like, hey, so James is going to be like, where do we go? We got to leave Japan. Well, we could go to Russia. Wink, wink,
Mhm.
wink, wink. Why Russia? I mean, seems cool.
Oh,
Things cool. Very cool.
That's definitely what was going to happen.
Oh, man.
it's something. Uh,
Hmm.
but yeah, there were so many things that they just did really well. Obviously, it's the Reze Arc movie, so I'm always disappointed when we don't see enough Aki. I love Aki so much, and Power. Always miss them. But I had actually forgotten the end of how the arc finished up. So seeing that whole scene with Makima actually surprised me again because I had forgotten how it ended because it had been so long since I kind of read that arc. So it was nice. It was nice to kind of be surprised by that at the end when she comes up with all the rats. And I do love the whole fable, as you were saying, explaining
Mhm.
everything, Noah, and how it kind of weaves in between the whole arc. because it's just always fun. It's fun when you have something that goes between everything, where you find out something then and you go back and you're like, oh, that's why they were all saying
That's
that.
the one reason why I remembered it, and which actually Denji said it when he was walking out the movie. I posted it on Facebook. I was like, it's nice of Fuji to review his own movie in his own movie. But it said the final scene of that movie, I'm gonna remember it until the day I die, which is for sure Reese. But yeah, that's what Denji said. But no, that part I always remembered because when I was reading it years ago, I always remembered Aesop's Fable because younger I read it or read about it, and then I just didn't remember what it was. So I was like, why does she keep bringing this up? I've always heard about this. So I went to look it up, and then I realized, again, Fuji explains stuff without explaining it. I went to look it up, and I was like, oh, that's deep. I was like, oh, so basically she keeps saying that because it's like, it's not really for you to think about in the story, probably in their reality. It's something that, like, when he came upstairs and said, you're the cheese that draws the rat out. She's like, huh? Contextually, that doesn't make sense, but he's using that to explain to you a situation. Yeah, so that's why I thought that was so dope, that ending right there. Sad, but there's no happy ending in Chainsaw Man.
Nah.
No, Chainsaw isn't meant to be a happy anime. But one other thing I do like, just the little side subplot I think throughout the whole Reze arc is just Aki and Angel's little
their banter and everything.
Along with you because you're my new partner, because Denji's off doing, I guess, whatever Denji does because he's with Shark now. And God, I love Shark so much. Shark is just so funny. Except for when he becomes
Tanjiro's
a weird
voice too,
thing.
perfectly voiced.
Yes, perfectly voiced. But the weird, stupid.
That's his full mode. The little.
I love him, but he reminds me of the stupid Tokyo fish attack.
I know what you're talking about now.
And
I was wondering what you were talking about.
Picture in our group chat. Tokyo
but they
fish
did it better than that.
Goyo Tokyo fish. Oh no, Shark is better, but Goyo Tokyo fish attack.
Oh my God, she's right, bro.
That's
Look
it.
At him. Look at him. That thing is terrifying. I hate that movie. No one watched that movie.
That was mechanical though. Yeah, that shit was awful.
Never. No one's seen it ever. You'll be scarred.
Marcus, what about? I got some other questions, but Marcus, what about you before we can move on? Oh wait, jokes, you haven't gone either yet, right?
Oh yeah. Go ahead, Marcus.
I was gonna say, like, I really enjoyed like the very like opening of like that hand drawn, like black and white like manga type feel going into like the actual opening credits and everything. I feel like that like really set the tone for how the movie is going to like play out, as well as the subtle like hints of like each character's dynamic of like their relationships of correlation between one another. Like the subtle hits, like during the pool scene, it cuts to like a lamp and it's a spider web, and like a moth is like drawn to the light and then gets trapped in the web, and then it's like setting off the vibrations, the spider coming down. Like all the while, it's just like the foreshadowing,
subliminal messaging.
Yep,
so much of it during those scenes.
Fuji is a god, man. Telling you.
And then like
crazy story is good.
And like Gabby said, with all the subtle, not even subtle, just like the way Reze's voice actress like brought that character to life with the boom. My favorite was just boo. Just like boo. And just like setting off just like randomly. I was just like,
it just feels so good when she says it. I'm like, I feel good. Like this is her.
So I mean, there's not much more to say.
Okay, what about you, Joe?
I mean, you guys pretty much hit the nail on here about pretty much about everything. You know, I think for me, like the biggest, there's so many components that go together to make everything about this movie work so well. And the pacing, like I love the first half of the movie. It's, you know, it really seems like this is about to be like a very happy, we're going to get the girl, we're going to go off to a happy place and do all this, and then typical Chainsaw Man, like you got to remember this is Chainsaw Man. No
happiness ever.
We hit the
shifting gears. They do a good job of tricking you.
Just like you said, Gabby, and when she went, she got denied. She still went in for the kiss, and it ends up biting off my man's tongue. And then it's just like, oh, now we shifting gears. We going full on in the Chainsaw Man at this point.
And here comes Shark.
But like the music, the way it's with every single one of these scenes. The music is just so on point throughout it. Like if you had never seen Chainsaw Man for whatever reason, you decided to go see this movie, um, you probably were like, wait, what is happening in the beginning of this that everything is like so happy? Because like looking at these trailers, it looks like this they get down to business at some point in here. Um, but I think everything is done super well. Um, I love the animation. Gabby, you said, going from the show to a movie, things do change up a little bit, but I love there were changes, but at the same time, you still felt like, oh yeah, this still feels like the same
Yeah.
Chainsaw Man that we've watched. Or like say, unfortunately, I haven't read it, so I'm not as far in as you guys are, and I kind of feel like I need to change that because
I think you do.
now I'm sitting in a spot where like I want to know what happens next, and I don't feel like waiting.
I've been seeing that sentiment all over. I've seen on Instagram because Instagram's less manga readers. I've seen a couple. Oh, this movie made me start manga. That was like comment said,
Wow.
and then he replied.
That's
He said,
amazing.
"I know." He said, "I've never read manga before. I've always been anime, but because of this movie's a 10." And then I've seen other people being like, "I wasn't really ever interested in Chainsaw Man. Now I'm reading it on Twitter." So yeah, a lot of people want to know what because that each season ends on a crazy note. Even season 1, but again, 12 episodes usually isn't enough to hook you unless it's like Don or like that type of series. This series builds up in the later, as you can see. So Himino was latched on the end of season 1. You're like, I need to know what happens, but they kind of concluded because she died. You know what I mean? Aki got his new power, but there wasn't really much to like wait to see. At the end of this, it's like she's dead. Makima done killed some more people with effortlessly. Like, what's happening?
That hit me with the sword. Listen, when they were at the beach,
what was going through your head when she was running down the alley towards the cafe?
I was like,
You're
wait a
gonna
minute.
make it out.
So we're gonna. I thought she was just gonna get to like the end of it and then change her mind that what I can't go be with Denji because like, I'm always gonna have this target.
Look at him through the window type deal.
Yeah, and I thought, you know what? Cool. She's just gonna go off and disappear. Hey, listen, I didn't think Makima was gonna show up and just put her down like
a million rats.
And that caught me way off guard. But then just like that whole Aesop fate, like I love when you can take a story and use something. I don't want to say as basic. I don't think that's the right word to use. But when you take something like a Fable and you're able to incorporate it into a story like a Chainsaw Man in these different aspects with each one of these characters, it just makes it even a deeper watch on there for it. Like I want to read it and see if I get that same type of feel, but when you have it on screen, it's a completely different beast. But I feel like we've gone through at least, I wouldn't say every single emotion that you could go through, but I feel like there was definitely a good chunk of emotions. This whole entire movie has put you in different places. You've been happy, you were sad, there was some moments you were mad. I thought at the end, I was like, "Oh, Denji, you about to get the girl. We about to have a happy ending in Chainsaw Man before we kick in and go to the next season." And boy, was I completely,
Little does he know,
completely wrong.
I mean, technically, the barista said like, "Hey, you just have to be open and wait for the next one that comes through the door. The door opens.
I wonder
just
how the
gotta be
barista
open
feels.
to it."
and then Power comes in and eats the flowers.
Because Reze technically,
I mean, that's only because he didn't give her the flowers off jump. Just give her
did
the
you see
flowers
that
off
joke?
You know that it's Denji's fault.
That
like,
the barista jokes. He said you got to wait for the next one to come by, and then Power came walking.
then
in
Power
the door.
came in. hey, listen, like Reze technically didn't like quit her job or anything. So I wonder if he was expecting her to show up for work one day and just realized that she's not going to show back up.
Maybe he did call her. Maybe she did call and quit or left a note because he said that girl was too cute. So he already knew who she was talking about. So he might have already got notice, or she might have said, "This is my last day."
And did, because otherwise, he got to hire somebody else.
But the thing was,
maybe he was her handler.
Yeah, maybe.
The
thing was, this is what I was seeing online is some people were like, I wish it could have ended differently. My buddy was like, I was a 9 out of 10. I just don't like how they ended it with her. I thought she was going to be a new part of the squad. I was like, y'all, Fuji romanticizes darkness. This
Mhm.
bitch just killed like 400 people.
Whole
Like this isn't One Piece or any other shonen. When you blow up a building, there's people
There's
inside
people
of
in the
it. Did you
building.
not see her stepping on corpses? Like
Listen,
she's evil to the core. And
I'm
then
just thinking.
Kishibe said it at the end. She's a guinea pig. They're trained from birth in Russia specifically to steal devils. Her goal was to come get Denji for the Russian
Mhm.
Soviet government to have Chainsaw Man. That was her goal. So it's
Yeah.
like it was never going to work. And then Makima, as you saw in the first season, can kill you by knowing your name with the sacrifice. So
Built
she
in
couldn't
Death
have gone.
Note.
It never. Denji and her was there was no scenario where Denji and her work
Yeah,
out. It was
No.
just
yeah.
beautiful
Yeah.
story, sad, but Fuji romanticizes darkness.
Well,
That's
you think
really
of
what he does.
immediately as soon as Reze figured out, like, oh, you know her or you're under her control.
He
I
called her
guess there
that
was no
witch.
hope for you anyway.
hmm
He called her that.
That witch,
She called her
yeah.
that witch. Yeah. She knows about her
We knew it
strength.
wasn't
So
going to happen as soon as we heard, oh, the witch.
Yeah, it was a
Mhm.
wrap. But yeah, no,
Mhm.
overall,
Also, as soon as she bit his tongue,
solid.
and we saw the spider motif. That was kind of obvious.
Yep. And then y'all saw in the first season, Makima was looking through the crows. This season, she used the rats. So
Mhm.
it's clear she has some sort of omnipotence because she came out talking about the country mouse. How did she even know about that? You know what I mean? Was she listening to her conversation with Denji? She might have an ear on Denji
Hey,
at
she
all
got
times.
tabs on
Sharp-
Denji.
Which,
Sharp
by the
was
way,
on him.
I'm not saying real stuff. I'm throwing out hints. So that's a FYI.
Yeah.
Just, you know what I mean? This movie, a lot of people don't
Denji
know,
is
but
one
this
of her
movie was
favorite dogs.
a lot of foreshadowing for Makima.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, I can't wait. Like
Mhm.
that, and that's one of the main reasons why I want to start reading, because her just this unknown aura that she puts. Like we know some of the basic stuff just from watching the show, and we see, but there's just so many questions that she still has out there. Like the last time something got me to go and just jump in and start reading the manga was Attack on Titan. Like right before we started going into this final season, part one, like the milkiness of things that you could do for it. But now, just because I'm just so intrigued with her character and just what else she can do, and like why do you have these type of abilities?
Makima's interesting.
I'm all in, and I'm probably gonna start picking up and reading that next.
I mean, we've only been the cusp of the power system. Like, truthfully, like I said, maybe 6 episodes, so 12 episodes. We're like 18 episodes in. So if you think about like JJK, you ain't learned too much about the power system by then, especially on like what Yuji has to fight eventually at that level. So like later you'll learn more. But I mean, like for example, Reze was an actual devil, which brings the question. This wasn't explained in the manga either, but did the Soviet Union have like the devil take over her heart like Pochita with Denji? Which is what my guess is that she was used as a weapon because she was trained from birth. Because a devil is an actual fear that incarnates into a devil. All the devils are fears, but a fiend is what Power is, Sharky is. Who else? There's a bunch of other fiends, but those are the ones I can think of.
The plague doctor mask. I forget.
Yeah, yep. He's a fiend. Those are devils, like minor fear devils that take over corpses. So like the blood devil's a minor fear, and then she took over. Actually, Power's body was a random girl just dead in the woods in the manga, and she takes her over, and that's Power. Power's not actually that girl. So they'll explain a lot more power system to come, which is interesting to see in the manga as well. Because this shit is banana. I'm telling you, whatever your guesses are, they're wrong. Whatever your guesses
I
are,
have never guessed right once in this
wrong.
series.
I love the sound of that.
Yeah, at all.
Ever.
At all. Yep. So that's amazing. But can we talk about the fight scenes for a moment? Because I want to ask y'all questions. First of all them fight scenes was amazing. Can we talk about how Reze as a villain was just so freaking badass? When she first sees Denji run, she starts sparkling and changing like a 1994 Power Ranger, and then her suits just change and turns around. She stands on the edge, gets down and zoom. And then before that or after that, she shows up, her head comes off, she blows her own heads off, takes it, and throws it in a
Chucks that
window.
joint into the.
Explodes the whole building.
Ooh.
No,
Says
I was
boom.
already. That sold me. And then where her body was in there and was going, I'm like, dog, the body doesn't need to even communicate with the head, and she can still go to work out here right now.
Mhm.
I'm like,
People are a popular comparison right now is Bakugo versus Reze on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I was like, I love my boy Bakugo. They both have huge explosions, but she can literally run around with no head.
yeah, Bakugo can't do that.
She kind of has him
unfortunately.
beat in that aspect.
Yeah.
Yes. She's like,
I mean,
she's immortal if she
speedless
gets more
off
blood.
jump, off bricks. She's speedless, like off the
Might
bricks.
be faster than my
Yes.
Pomeranian.
Her speed
Yes.
is
I mean,
insane.
Bakugo
And-
did go really fast at the end, but just in a straight line. Like she's got real control
Dog,
over
she can
that.
control and move around and jump
Yes.
where she needs to. Her speed was insane.
And
like,
she has the Roy Mustang treatment. She has the Roy Mustang treatment of just like, yeah, no, boom.
No.
dog,
And she really beat
Click.
Denji effortlessly. So did she even use 100% of her power? Or was she
Probably
just
No,
not.
of course not.
flexing? You know what I mean? Because like
No.
she beat Denji effortlessly, and
she
Denji had to beat her
crisped
with a
this man.
tactic.
she crisped
Yeah.
this man and only left the
Right.
not even an eighth of his body was still available. Like, I'm like, yo, this
She sent him through several skyscrapers
No,
and
that
blew
was
one of the
straight.
skyscrapers up.
Hey, an
Straight
angel
Dragon
had to
Ball
bring a
Z
dead
throw
body
through
to bring
the-
this man back.
Yeah.
Dog, I feel bad for the city because, like, dog, the level of destruction.
Oh
The
yeah, they
city
get
should be
trashed.
literally leveled.
I don't think there's anything left. Well, clearly where the
On a
the
positive
cafe
note,
was,
job
at least the
security.
area where the
That
cafe
was a
was.
reasonable fight because they've dealt with demons before. I mean, devils before. They have the Devil Fighting Association, so they have big fights. But that was a reach. She blew up a couple skyscrapers. I'm not saying it was bad. It wasn't bad, but they still got a city. But yeah, the civilians in Chainsaw Man, they get trashed. Absolutely trashed.
No, this was one of the like, oh, I died and I woke up in the last anime I watched. It's Chainsaw Man.
Yes, literally.
Nope. No.
That
Yes.
is like,
When Denji, but I love the way all of the stuff was done in the manga and they just animated to their own way. And that's a lot of times how you get, because sometimes when you do anime canon stuff, it's really good or it's really bad.
yeah.
Or sometimes they just don't adapt the stuff that's done well. But like that's what they did with Naruto, for example. And that's why Naruto has such good fight scenes, because all they did was take what they have and then spruced it up. Now I love One Piece fight scenes to the death, but like again, I bring the scene up all the time. Zoro literally is jumping across dragons when he's fighting King. That never happens. So it's like that turned out amazing, but hypothetically that could turn out bad. You know what I mean? If they're taking things too far, but they took scene for scene what was going on and just spruced it up, like the typhoon spinning, Denji spinning around the shark. That all that stuff happened. So it was just, I think that those fight scenes when she was darting around, that scene was so cool. The scene when she snapped and then it paneled around the
angle when
bullet.
it was on the
Oh my
like on
goodness.
the street, like around where
Yeah,
the dude
Yeah.
showed. That was the listen. That was the point where
Those poor
y'all
dudes.
should have got your asses back in that
those
car
poor
and
dudes.
turned around and drove off. Because
I don't think
like-
they was ever escaping.
listen, it's
Oh,
Chainsaw
he's like,
Man.
crap.
Any other anime or anything else, when you get out and you see what is this on her head,
about
like
some
right
white.
now, dude's on the ground. You know what? I'm just gonna let you be. I'm gonna get in the car. I'm gonna mind my business and go the other way. But
Yes.
That way.
Yes.
It's going that way. Leave me
I
alone.
was trying to think of another point I had about it. It was amazing. But at the end, so just to say, which she clearly got killed at the end. But, and this is no spoiler to the future, every devil is immortal. So every devil can be revived to some degree, whether or not they're
reincarnated almost. like a-
reincarnated
yeah.
into a different body. If they're reincarnated, they have zero memories of the past. So they're an entire different person or reality or whatever. They may look the same, but they're different. Or they can just be fed blood and then completely regenerate.
Mhm.
As you
We've
see, the
seen that. You
association, yeah, as you see, the association has a whole basement of locked up devils that you can choose from, and they clearly hold on to them. So,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? Now, 100% of this could have not happened to Reze,
Mhm.
but I'm just bringing up details that are clear from season 1. So you take those details and run with them in your head. And like I said, 100% of these things could have not happened, and 100% of these things could have happened. But in season 1, we see all of these things. So there are things to think about. You know what I mean?
There are fears.
But if you know Chainsaw Man, it's sad. So any happy thought, you're getting it back here like, oh, maybe he's hinting that Reze is alive. Do you know what series you're watching?
It's fine. Come back for 1 minute and you're going to get killed again. But hey, listen.
You know what series you're watching?
Hey,
so that's stuff to think about, which is really cool. And then just the ending of that movie was so good, man. The final credit song, I really liked it. I put that cover in the chat. I don't know if y'all saw.
Yes,
people have been people have been
cover.
covering it, doing a lot of work with it.
I love hearing the covers. So
soundtrack is so addicting. That's this dude. That's what I was gonna say. This dude falls into my favorite composers from anime. Naruto composer Gabby. You've heard me talk about this.
Yes,
a composer of Made in Abyss and Shield Hero. His name is Kevin Pankin, and then Hiroyuki Sawano. He composes Attack on Titan, Solo Leveling, Shield Hero, Sword Art Online, lots of other stuff. And now this dude is on my list for sure because that song is literally on some Interstellar shit, like that pool scene song. It gives me the same vibes because that Interstellar pool song went down as like, okay, this is like a generational soundtrack. That song is on there, in my opinion. And he just sat down and wrote it. Like, how do you do that?
Hey, listen, I give him props. Some people got those skills. Just like, I just need the tone of what am I writing this for? Chainsaw Man.
Bet.
Got you.
Like, music is such an emotional trigger. And I've said this again, Gabby's heard it so many times that like soundtracks can make or break an anime. And one thing I bring up that maybe like the uneducated, not to sound elitist ear, will not give credits to, for example, like Naruto or series like One Piece or Bleach, is one of the things that really captures is their soundtrack. Because when you think of Naruto, what do you think of?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You think of, I don't have to show you the scene. Jiraiya's popping up in your head. So it's like those things are such emotional triggers, and when you're able to do that and capture that well, and like we saw in Solo Leveling, when that "this is gonna comfort" them goosebumps you felt, you can't.
That's when you know it's about to start.
You can't teach that.
He's about to go in. Serious mode.
Attack on Titan. When you hear that, na 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 na,
this is certain music when you hear it.
You can't teach that. So now literally that song. Every time I hear that song now, I just think Denji-kun. Every time I hear that song, all I hear.
She kept edging. She was like, Denji-kun. Like this, just like she said like 3 times. It got to it. I was like, yep, there it is.
The character animation was so good.
So
it was so good.
So clean.
Yes. Here is I want to show y'all this too. This is a panel from the manga. And where is it? Yeah, here it is. This is a panel from the manga. And you know, sometimes after chapters, artists will just do art from the chapter.
Yes.
And this is the panel from the manga. Yep. And as you can see, they use this. And I love when animes do that. They take like the extra chapters, like Oda does a mini story before each chapter. Some anime like Kaiju number 8 have their exclusive art. So this was an exclusive art. And everybody was like, you know what I mean? Ada when it came out originally, like woof woof. And so for them to use it, it was like they know what
they knew what they were doing.
Yeah, and
100% knew
that was really dope to see.
I was looking at those comments of the man screaming and running through a football field or something. I'm like, yep, that's us. that's all of us.
And then here's another one. This character animation, just in general, I couldn't find more. But this scene right here. Just like when she gets out of the water, looks very human. The character with the little wipe of the nose and stuff like that. It's just like, I don't know. They did. Yeah, we really do that.
We do that. Everyone, when they come out of the water, it's just like,
we just got to add a couple things
in. Stuff.
Exactly.
Bring the character to life.
They could have went all. They could have honestly went extra the way in
Oh, well,
that
that's
scene.
how it was
but-
in the manga. That's how it was. Like straight up. That's what I'm saying. She ain't had no nipples in the manga. She ain't had no nipples in the anime.
And listen,
She
for
ain't
all
got
we
no
know,
nipple.
that's actually real. Be like, Denji, and listen, Denji probably really don't know. So only thing he could do is like, oh,
You're
this
not
is it
wrong.
right here.
She could be like Rimuru and just be a blank slate.
Oh
Like,
no.
she could be like Rimuru and just be a blank slate. No, but that's what she was saying, because she said in the same thing in the manga, which was funny. That scene where they created him, all the thoughts rushing through his head, and then he's just naked. It's like
God,
every
that
man in that scenario. It's just so funny. But then she was like, "Come on, it's dark. You can't see anything." Then he's like, "Oh, I can see everything." I thought that part was so funny.
I mean, only thing
So
that was
yeah, they
missing
just
was
didn't
my
draw it
man
because they didn't want to. But
only thing was missing was my man bleeding from the nose. Like that'd have been the only other thing that they could have thrown in that little scene once he actually saw it.
He's like, oh.
yeah,
Ugh.
He's
yeah.
like, this ain't my first rodeo. I've been here before.
I love how long the fight scene was, and the fact that it was a movie. I hate that we had to wait 4 years for it, but
Mm-hmm.
I like that it was a movie this time because it worked so well for that. And then the fight scene was just like 40 minutes of peak. It was just
Mhm.
like 30, 40-minute fight with like a 10-minute break. And if that was in episodes, it would have been like broken between 3 episodes. And you would have had
we
like,
wouldn't have gotten it
oh,
all.
soul leveling
Not one
episode
consistent scene.
11 was godly, but you of the rest were great, but it's just like that one right there. So it's like having it all together was so nice.
Yeah.
Same with Demon Slayer, having it all put together, especially with Typhoon going through all those fights. I know they put so much work. You know, they only spent $4 million to make this movie,
I saw.
4.1 million.
It's it's insane
Wow.
that the budget that they can have to do this and then what comes about it after it actually comes out.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane. Like even if they just imagine as we get, let's just say hypothetically, we get to the end of honestly any of these animes, like Demon Slayer is already going to be in movie form for the last part of the arc. If they do something like that with this and they decide that, you know what, let's double the budget on it and go all in. Like this was only like you could say just like a taste of what they could probably fully do in it for. And by all means, it's not bad in any shape or form with the way that it is currently right now. But with most movies when they come out, it's like to break even, you essentially have to make double. So it's like with something like the anime movies, like they're doing it like without a problem. Like when you're outdoing the likes of Superman and things like that have come out in theaters, it's
Well,
absolutely.
to be fair, let's talk about that for a second, right? Because they are, and I'm not knocking at those things at all.
Mhm.
But is that happening 4 years ago? No. Would it happen with the same quality of product 4 years ago? No, it wouldn't. The reason it's happening is because movies are in a slump. People aren't trusting movies. Inflation is obviously at an all-time high, which obviously didn't affect Demon Slayer, but just saying in general affects people going to more movies than they used to.
Mhm.
People don't trust and are burnt out on superhero movies in general and movies in general. And then plus you could argue we haven't had one of those besides like the only thing that would even be on that level of making hundreds and hundreds of million would be
Dragon Ball.
no, I'm saying like regular movies would have
Just regular
been
movie.
Fantastic Four, Superman,
Mhm.
John Wick.
and like John Wick.
Yeah,
Did that come out in the last year though? That came out like 2 years ago, didn't it?
Yeah, but you know what? Ballerina wouldn't necessarily do it because it was a spinoff. Don't get me
But
wrong.
I'm saying
like,
even Sinners,
yeah.
like Sinners, because people say, "Oh, that was a horror movie." That wasn't no damn horror movie. That was a thriller.
Sinners was that
people-
anomaly because it's hard for people to.
It didn't even make that much. It made like 200. It made a lot for a horror movie class, but it didn't make
It did
that
solid
much.
as something that was a new IP. Like it's hard for people to make something new and
No
come out
IPs
and
are almost
do
impossible to get off the ground nowadays.
those
unfortunately.
type of numbers on it. So that one I almost want to say was an anomaly that just went very well. Because sometimes when you take
I mean,
those
it was
new,
a good movie. It was
Yeah.
genuinely a good movie.
you take those new things
So
and they
it's
sometimes
like-
don't work out. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
you take these animes that are established and like we've I would say over the last decade, we've gotten anime in theaters, but there was a point like there was no IMAX. It was like
Yeah, facts.
a lot of times sometimes they were in the smallest theater
Yeah.
they thought they were
60% of the revenue of these movies is coming from IMAX.
Yeah.
I saw that online. 60% of the people
Really?
are going to IMAX. Yeah, because when I looked up all the IMAX, they're all sold out. Standard was all open. Even when I saw that stat, I was like, that makes perfect sense. Because we all want to see it in the best possible option. And again, the last two movies were one of 5 movies fitted for IMAX from anime. So even the old Superman Broly wasn't fitted for it was IMAX, but you had the little boxes. You know. So that's a thing too. But I think it's amazing, but I think it's also perfect for it because this year is the year to take over. Nothing else is busting in the movie theaters right now. They're getting by like 700 or 650 million on Superman is still great. Like that's a lot of money for that studio, and it's going to allow them to make more. It's not, but I know, but I'm saying it's not. They didn't make cheap enough, a little enough to where it'd be like we're not going to make another one. You know what I mean? I think Batman made. Did the Batman make less? No, maybe the Batman made like 800. I can't remember. But Fantastic Four was a little questionable, but they still made enough to where they're like, okay, we can keep going. You know what I mean? Maybe this was just bad. But so I think this year was the perfect year to say, okay, if we're going to do it, let's do the best possible stuff we can, drop it, because nothing else is dropping right now. That's why my buddy was like, I was wondering why they dropped so close to Demon Slayer. I'm like, dog, right now is the time. Nothing else is popping.
Yeah, nothing else
is going crazy. So if it comes out, anime fans are gonna go see the movie. As to where like we could all be fans of Superman, but if I don't feel like going to the theaters, I may just end up watching it at home. But as an anime fan who almost never gets what I love in the theater, we're all going to see it. So it's like it's almost like a money pocket for some of these titles because some of them they can't afford. Like the Dragon Maids, I told you I was in there for one day. I actually wish I saw it, but it was in there for one day because they probably just don't have a big budget to spread it out. But I'm sure the people around here who liked it went to see it if they knew about it. So I just think that now is the time. But I honestly think when people are like, oh, it's surpassing the stuff, I'm like, I don't think it would have surpassed stuff like 4 or 5 years ago, even if it was the same quality of product, in my humble opinion.
I could see
You know me, Gabby. I always like to be unbiased, even on my own stuff.
Oh, he's the unbiased king.
Dig it.
I think this year is the year for them to take over. They've taken advantage of that, and I think that's great. And I think we'll get some more.
I think they just slowly build towards possibly being able to pass things like that. They're going in the right direction. So in the future, I can probably see them.
I mean, now that footstone is set.
Yeah.
The footstone is set now. I just think like 3 or 4 years ago, would they pass like, what was that Hispanic Pixar movie that dropped? Emilito or whatever that was like really popular or something like that? Probably not. Puss in Boots? Probably not. But now they have it. Puss in Boots? Yeah, I heard it was popular in the theaters. I fell asleep when I watched it at home, but I heard it did well in the theater.
I have never watched it.
Yeah, the animation was really good.
Dig it.
Would not interest me.
Anything else?
I think that's all we have to say about this movie. I feel like I had something else, but I forgot it.
Should we go back over our numbers?
Yeah, let's go back through the numbers again. Let's see how things change. Noah, I highly doubt you're going to change from a 10 and go down a number. So I'm assuming you're still.
Yeah, there's nothing to change. There was nothing wrong. Like everything I imagined that they could have done about this movie to make it the most enjoyable adaptation possible from what was portrayed in the manga, they did it like way surpassed what I ever could have imagined they would have done. And satisfied isn't even the word.
Perfect. Gabby?
Noah's right. It's a 10. It's a 10. It's just a 10. I was fooling myself.
She conformed.
It's 10. I've conformed. I agree.
Marcus?
The movie was fantastic.
A rare
9.99.
Are you going to say that?
I'll give you the penny at that point. I'll give you the tax if you needed to make the 10 for you. All right, Mark's at 9. I'm at a 10. Like, Mark,
we're
like,
gonna do a new one. 0 through 10, and you can't put 7, no points in the 9. So it's either got to be a 9
You didn't say
or
that
a
at the
10.
beginning. You didn't say that
I
at the
know.
beginning. You
Those are
can't.
his
Next
rules.
time.
Those
Next
are
time.
his rules, though.
Yeah, no, I'm at a 10 too. Like, I think they executed everything well in this. Everything melded well together. Um, as usual. Hey, listen, Mappa. When it comes time for this type of stuff, don't play.
Oh, I love Mappa.
Yeah.
And as much as we know them, hey, listen, they overworked and everything over there. They put their foot in everything that they do. And Chainsaw Man. Hey, listen,
We are
Chainsaw Man.
unfortunate consumers of your unfortunate labor, but
Their work is
Your blood,
superb.
sweat,
So
and tears comes out really good.
hey, they said let the Japanese remain Japanese, so we'll just keep watching and buying.
Yeah.
Y'all keep
They-
working.
So yeah, for the most part, everyone around the room has a 10. Marcus has a 9.99.
Marcus has a 10.
I'm eager to know what that 0.01 is for you, Marcus. It's gonna. I don't know if it was a.
I
Is
just
it the
didn't
fish?
think that
Because
it
even
would
I can get over
surpass.
the fish.
Like as a lover of Chainsaw Man over Demon Slayer, I didn't think it would I genuinely was gonna watch it, and I was like, it's gonna be good, but I don't think it will surpass Demon Slayer. Like I think it'll be either just as good or not quite as good because I don't know what I was thinking, but I was just kind of had the idea that it would be like just a little bit less as good as a movie. But then just the whole complete package between like fight scenes, perfect, voice acting, perfect, soundtrack. I feel like I only had like 1 or 2 notches on Demon Slayer, but that didn't make it a 10 for me. As to where this one, like I've said, there's nothing.
Dig it. Y'all heard it around the horn.
Burn time.
If you haven't seen this movie, and for whatever reason, we appreciate if you watch this the whole way through, but you need to go see that movie. Like,
you don't have to watch season 1. You could get by, but you'll want to watch season 1 after you do the movie.
Yeah, I would definitely do that. But if somehow you've managed to watch us spoil this whole movie pretty much and not go see it, appreciate you, but you should still go see this movie regardless, nonetheless.
That would be crazy.
For it. I imagine it's going to be in theaters at least by the time you guys see this. Maybe like another week and some change, probably. I don't expect it to be there much longer, especially with
think it's IMAX till November 5th, and then it's going a couple weeks after that. So y'all got probably like 3 weeks to go catch it.
Yeah, because once...
And no time to go catch an IMAX, depending on when this comes out.
Hey, listen, go see it in IMAX before it goes away. You heard it from us.
Please.
The movie is great. See it in the theaters before it goes out, because otherwise... who knows when this is going to be available to watch it on streaming or whatever they may do. We are going to be a long way out for that. So do yourself a service and go see it in theaters. Other than that, anybody have anything else they want to say? Or I think everyone good to go?
I think we're good.
I'm good.
Dig it. Well, this has been your Spoiler Boys for the Chainsaw Man movie. We got to get out of here because there's other things that we got to do. I want my man Marcus he needs to relax. He needs to take some time and he needs to take a nap. He got to take a nap. So we got to get out of here. We appreciate you guys tuning in, whether you're watching, whether you're listening. As usual, we're here for a good time. But until the next time, for Gabby, for Marcus, for Noah, it's your boy Jokes. We will catch you next time. Deuces.
Bye.
Bye.
Loading snacks.